Welcome to iHeartGeek.
And welcome to an all-news episode of iHeartGeek. I don't know.
What does that mean? The microwave's done? Your Hot Pocket is ready?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I care about is my Hot Pocket being ready. Yeah, we haven't done a news episode in months and months and months, so we thought we'd remedy
Well, there's
that.
been no news of any kind.
There's been a little
Zero.
bit.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a touch of it, and this will be the last time we do this format of news.
Really?
Yes.
Well, why is that?
Well, you know what? Let me introduce everybody, and then we'll get into that in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
I'm Dub, and I'm your, I don't know what I am with these
Well, at the
type of
moment, the
episodes.
news anchor.
Yeah, I'm the news anchor. I am Dan.
You're Dan
something.
Rather.
I wish I had that kind of hair, that bullet hair. That'd be awesome.
I am Skin Stevens. I don't know.
And to my right, the guy that's just not going to stop talking today, we have our good buddy, PB&Jason.
If I stop talking, they won't know I'm here.
You know, it is so weird that usually when we do these episodes, we've sent you somewhere. This is the first time.
Yeah, I
we've
know.
ever
I
sent
get to be
somewhere.
here and not sent to like Mordor or Hell
You're
or
volunteer.
Atlantis.
Every time you
Yeah, I guess that's
Volunteer
true.
to go to Mordor? Ooh.
Because why not?
Right.
Well, there's usually a good like snack rider.
Did you take a Hobbit with you?
Yeah, actually.
It's the only way to
know
go.
how to get there. Need someone to lead the way.
Okay, and in the higher register across the way, we have Miss Geeky Page herself, Siege.
Hi, everybody.
How
Do I
you-
get to be Lois Lane for this?
If you'd
it's-
really like
it's-
that.
That's
It's the
awesome. Even though
news.
she's a field reporter, that's still
It's
still
news.
cool.
Nice. And to the left, we have Mr. Blythe. How are you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. Excited to go through all this news.
Yeah, this is your first time. This is both of you guys' first time doing the news.
Yes,
This is
sir.
only my second time doing it live with you.
We're the Cub reporters.
And here we are without Kaj.
I know. Gosh, is your co-anchor usually.
It makes me a little uncomfortable.
I know. Me
It does.
too.
Okay, so you know what? Let me discuss what we're going to be doing with the news from now on, hopefully. We are going to start doing a live video event of the news.
What?
Live video.
Wait a minute. People are going to see us?
People are going to see how this ugly mug.
I'm so much
Don't point
cuter
at
when
me.
you can't see me.
Oh, you mean you? No,
That's
no.
me. That's me. But yeah, it's going to be all fully produced and on YouTube. So starting hopefully next month, we will have the news on YouTube.
You do realize that most of us have a face for radio.
I know I have a face for I have a face for radio and a voice for mime. So
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
little self-depreciation today. But yeah, no, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually really looking forward to it.
Actually,
and
I
we
am too.
have everybody from the show that's going to be on it.
Yeah, I'm too. This is going to be an interesting endeavor.
Yep. So we'll see what happens, and if you like it, tell us, and if you don't tell us because that'll make my heart hurt.
Geeky Page will tell us.
I will.
Oh, she will.
She'll tell us flat
I
out.
will.
Guys,
Guys, let's
talk.
Let's
rethink
not
that.
do this.
We might need to approach that differently.
I'm gonna write you a strongly worded letter.
that's right. I'm still kind of expecting that to fall my way for my transgressions about Agnes Moorehead.
Yeah, you'll get over it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with our first bit of news, and this is actually for the show itself. We are officially announcing our permanent rotation of people in our fourth chair.
Oh,
That was the
that chair right there.
The chair that was vacated last by Mr.
By
Winchester,
Mr. Winchester, right?
and before that by
By Spike.
Spike, and like 7 people in between them.
Something like that.
Yeah, that happens. So
That fourth chair, man.
because
it's the Iron Throne.
That
Bad
yeah,
juju.
we don't like people having to go be dragons and have to burn down the chair, so we decided to have a rotating chair.
There we go.
And here's our people that are going to be rotating. You're going to see them a lot. We have Miss Geeky Page.
It's me.
Wait a minute. She's in the third chair at the moment.
Well, she'll
no,
know.
she's in the second chair
She's
at
in the
the
second
moment.
chair. You're in the fourth.
I'm in the third chair.
third chair.
right.
Well, yeah, inputs.
There are some that might say this is the number 2 chair.
Well, I'd say that there's a lot of number 2 that comes out of that chair.
That's true.
Aw.
We have the Black Geek Carl. True Blythe.
That's this guy.
That's
Yep,
this
that's
guy.
me.
over
Currently
here.
in the fourth chair.
K-Brew, who we haven't seen in like a year or so.
He hangs out at the Recorded Deconstruction podcast.
But he's gonna start hanging out here.
Yeah, we're going to get him to hang out here more.
Yeah, even when I record that podcast here.
Yeah, we might do
tweak it
an
out.
episode of that show here at this studio, which is sort of Twilight Zone.
It'll tweak everybody out,
Yep.
I think. And then we have Miss Katie May. We haven't seen her in a
Katie.
long time. Yeah, she's actually on the schedule like 3 times the next couple months.
Right.
Scary. And then last but not least, Sean's beard and Sean will come with Sean's beard. So, yeah.
Another duality character is what you're saying?
he changes his name every time he's here, so I just talk about his beard.
All right.
Alter ego.
His luxurious, beautiful, beautiful beard. I could nestle in it. Kaj
All right,
here, so
calm down.
It's just got a little
Okay.
Yeah,
creepy.
it's kind of
Yes,
a
it
little weird.
Okay, so let's talk about our first bit of news. DC cancels Swamp Thing over a paperwork snafu. I think that's a bunch of crap. I think that, well, we'll get into what I think it is later. But, yeah, after the, I guess, best reviewed show on the DC network ever, and they cancel it after 1 episode, this season's 8.
It's their DC streaming service, right?
Yes, the DC streaming
Yeah,
service.
Surprises me
universe.
because actually I saw that preview and I was a little bit like chin rubbing because I'm like,
I didn't the what is it? The preview I didn't like.
yeah, they had a theme
But the
on
show's not
there.
bad.
Supposedly the show's great.
Yeah, it's supposed
I don't
to
think
be.
it's as
It's
good
been
as say
getting-
Doom Patrol, but it's good.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
seen that one
getting
yet. But
really, really great reviews that I've
Yeah.
seen thus
Right.
far. But it doesn't matter because we're not going to get to see it.
Yeah, which
so what is the inside scoop on that? Really, I know you said you it's not the
they
accounting
say-
snafu that you
they
think it
say
is.
that they didn't fill out some paperwork, so it ended up costing DC or Warner Brothers as much as the show it cost to make in just the taxes.
I see.
They were
Bly's.
supposed to get a complete. Basically, the show is supposed to be free after all the taxes.
Let's go to Bly's, our man on the street. I hear that you might have some insight into this.
So earlier today, it came out that
Sorry, I'm doing street noises.
someone from the North Carolina government, where they filmed it, said that all the tax breaks that they were supposed to get for the show, there was no discrepancy on them. They were all outlined accordingly, and the contract that Warner Brothers signed, it was all there. So now it's kind of up in the air as to why they actually canceled it. I have a feeling with something that's been as highly reviewed as this, especially where DC kind of is now with their like film media and things like that. I don't believe that because of tax breaks they would cancel an entire show.
Now that's an
especially one-
editorial opinion, not a fact, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
just an opinion of mine, and like I said, quote from someone in the North Carolina government that
An
said that.
inside source.
Yes.
This really is a new show.
Well, to piggyback off of that, this next news item kind of might answer a lot. The Warner Brothers executives are reconsidering. They deny it, but the latest news was they are reconsidering doing the DC app before even a full year's up.
You mean like scrapping it completely?
Scrapping it. They're reevaluating what they think about it.
Oh God, that word.
Now, they did come out today and said, no, this isn't true. This is just a rumor. For some reason, I believe it. We know how DC works.
Right.
Yeah.
DC is funny. I mean it is. It's like they are so good at some things. They are so good at their animation.
Yeah.
They seem to be really, really good at these shows. Like, I have yet to see, because I don't have the DC streaming service, so I have yet to see Titans, but I've heard good things.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Doom Patrol. I've heard great things. You know?
And the new Young Justice is on there.
Right,
It's
right.
Amazing.
And Swamp Thing getting such good reviews. And then, of course, their film universe is a chaotic mess.
Yeah.
Well, that's when the executives like to stick their fingers in stuff that they shouldn't be sticking their
Exactly.
fingers in.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Marvel and Disney are sitting over there going,
Yeah, and they're enjoying the heck out
but
of it.
yeah, enjoying it. But it's weird how much trouble they're having with consistency.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
and their TV shows seem to do really, really well
Them too,
if
right.
they're given to Greg Berlanti to produce.
Okay.
He's this showrunner for Flash and Arrow
Mm-hmm.
and the new Batwoman that's coming out, which looks pretty freaking amazing to me. they do really, really well in The Flash. They do really, really well when he is the showrunner and he puts everything together. It's these ones that are not run by him. It's like, it makes me wonder how much control they've given him and if they're trying to exert more control over in like Doom Patrol and whatnot. And it's just, they just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like every time something becomes successful, more people want to put their fingers in there?
And then it just turns to crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. They try and jump on. They're like a bunch of dogs wrestling over a bone.
Yeah.
Is that anytime something gets thrown out there that people seem to start enjoying and they're getting a little ramp up on it, then they're like, let's jump on this one thing. And then they just ruin it.
I don't know,
Well,
man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, final bit of news that I want to drop before we get to why we think the problem is.
Okay.
The Wonder Woman 1984 poster dropped. And that was it looks awesome. It's like all psychedelic.
So
looks like,
amazing.
Looks like a Michael Jackson video come
She
to
looks
life.
like Big Barda.
Now, unfortunately, when they dropped it, they also dropped the announcement that Warner Brothers DCEU will be skipping Hall H at Comic-Con this year. Really?
They're not the only ones, though.
No, it's
Star
been going
Wars.
on.
Who was it?
isn't
Who was
either.
it?
So
Star Wars.
Marvel and Star Wars skip Hall H, but this year is also the year of D23, which makes sense for them to skip Comic-Con because they want to name their releases and do all their stuff at Disney's own convention. So that makes sense for them to move in that direction, especially with as big as Disney's getting. Like their own convention is going to just get bigger and bigger
Yeah,
and
but
bigger.
Warner Brothers doesn't have a convention.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, I think they're just in a mess of where they don't know what they're doing.
Which goes back to why do they have a DC app? I mean, I love DC Comics. That's my jam. They don't have enough on there for a streaming service. It's
No.
not like it's Netflix or
Yeah.
Hulu or anything else
They're
or
playing-
WWE Network.
Yeah,
They're playing race the clock with everybody else.
Yep.
It's,
And
it's
with,
the same thing that they did with Marvel and the Marvel Studios movies.
And DC Plus doesn't even have their app up yet.
Exactly.
and with a market that's so oversaturated right now, there's so many different streaming services. They don't have the content to keep it going. I mean,
Not for that much.
Yeah, exactly. And Disney Plus, as soon as they release the amount of content that Disney has, because Disney has ABC, they have Marvel, they have all these different things. Like the content that they're going to push out of that streaming service is going to
shows that they've canceled will go over
exactly,
there
and
now.
they're going to make their own shows now. It's going to put Netflix on their toes. So DC's got no.
Which I think Netflix I'm kind of done with anymore. But
You know, last time the bank sent me checks for my checkbook, they had Mickey Mouse on them.
so they
Everywhere.
even own the banks.
That's probably
On
because
the
the
banks.
bank is
Oh, they
on
own
Mickey.
everything.
Yeah, there's too much. These services are getting a little. They need to have one mega. But here's the deal: you're going to be paying as much for all your streaming services as you were paying for cable.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's
And
all
it's
it
like,
is. Is
what's
it's a
the point?
different form
What's
of
the
cable.
point? You know?
You know, they're good. They're good at 3. I don't mind Hulu, Amazon, and Netflix.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and instead of all this exclusivity, which I honestly think in the long run won't work,
No.
No, I don't think so either.
just try to integrate into one of those 3.
Yeah.
Well, who
Make
is it?
everybody happy and everybody makes money.
Amazon has a great plan with theirs. They do their content, and then if you want HBO, you can pay like an extra $2, or
Yep.
if you want Showtime, I'll pay an extra $2. That's incredible to
Right.
me.
Hulu does the same thing.
Yeah.
You can add those different content packages onto your existing Hulu plan.
I want the comic book streaming service. It has all the comic books and it has, I want Marvel, I want DC, and I want Image. I want all their movies. I want Image movies. And I
Yeah.
pay the extra $2, and then everybody's happy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're not going to do that because I want my finger in it.
Yeah.
So, which goes back to this. Who is to blame for all this? Warner Brothers
Warner
is
Brothers.
to blame for all this. They need to get their grubby hands out of the entertainment. They're not entertainers. They're not actors. They're not creative. They are sycophants that move money around. That's all. And hey, I'm sure they're good at it.
I don't
No.
even think they're good at that anymore.
No.
I mean, the thing is I think the problem is Warner Brothers approaches things in the wrong way. Because the guys over at Marvel are the same thing. The guys at Disney are the same thing. They're people who move money around, and the whole point is to make money. But the approach to that is entirely different. And I mean, when I heard they were canceling Hall H, it didn't surprise me at all because, like, the one time I managed to get Comic-Con tickets, and I
Never
went, It was just one time, the holy grail of nerddom. Warner Brothers had sunk so much money into publicity at Comic-Con for this movie called Into the Storm.
Never heard of it.
Right, I don't know. It's awful. It is a disaster film, but it's just terrible. So they had sunk a ton of money into publicity. They wanted to make that their tentpole, but it was just a terrible, terrible film, and it was the wrong choice to be the tentpole. It was the wrong choice to use at Comic-Con. It was a disaster film. It really wasn't even Comic-Con-y relating, but that was their Hall H. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
So maybe it is
a
smart
Comic-Con
for
for a
them to pull it
disaster
out.
movie.
What are they going to do at Hall H? What do they have now? Wonder Woman doesn't come out until next year. So if they do a Hall H for Wonder Woman, they're going to do it next year because she'll come out in June. But by the time the movie comes out, the movie will already be up before Comic-Con happens.
There's also
what do they have?
There's also the controversy around San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It's not
Too
comics
big.
anymore.
Too bad that most of the good stuff goes on outside
Yeah.
of the con itself.
Yeah.
Because it's
And-
all marketing and it's all
Yeah.
I was so
all business
overstimulated. I was
inside.
like a little kid at Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? I catch it all online, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, the Hall H stuff you can always watch online.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. Sci-Fi, the Sci-Fi Channel, is canceling 2 fantastic shows, which would be Happy, which we've talked about quite a bit on this show, and Deadly Class, which really it's a great show. It's a fantastic comic book. I don't know what they're thinking. Sci-Fi has a bad habit of canceling really good shows and then letting shows that are okay run way past their prime, like Magicians.
A lot of those TV
I love
stations
it,
do
but
that,
it's
though.
it should have ended last year.
Right.
And no, it said let's cancel Deadly Class after 1 season and Happy after 2. Happy I can kind of get because it got a little too weird for even their audience, I think.
It's
but
really dark.
yeah, it's.
I haven't seen the
They
second
could have lit it
season
up.
yet.
No, the second season is a lot darker. But Deadly Class is really good. They might have had trouble. That should have probably been a Netflix show like Umbrella Academy, just because of the incredible gratuitous violence. But I don't get why they canceled it. It was drawing really good numbers from what I understand.
How about what Bly's just said about oversaturation
Yeah.
of the dark, kind of dark eclectic show.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
why? Oversaturation or not, if it's making money, why are they canceling?
Well, that
They
I
might
mean,
not be.
So that's what I would be curious to see what their actual numbers were, because if you have something that it has a particular fan base and all those people are coming to watch it, if you're not grasping the masses, then it's kind of hard to keep pushing those shows. That's why a lot of Netflix shows will end after season 3. Like that's
Yeah.
a statistical thing that once a show goes 3 seasons, it usually gets cut because by that time, the people who aren't really into that genre or into that show but have stuck around because they kind of liked it, they're off to different things.
Well, after 5 seasons, I don't know if you heard about the Ranch, which was an Ashton Kutcher project.
Yeah.
They're on their last season. They're going to release 2 more, and they should have never gotten rid of Danny Masterson. So I think that's why.
Yeah,
'Cause
probably.
it kind of sucked with Dak Shepard. But yeah, that made 5 years. So.
Yeah.
But that's one of the longer ones I think I've ever heard of on Netflix.
Yeah.
are they canceling The Good Place?
Probably.
Yes.
That's an ABC show, I think. So
Okay.
I think
I don't know,
that
Yes, they
canceled-
are.
Yeah.
This is the final season.
Oh
it the
well,
final-
if
Well,
they,
that's not canceled.
Okay,
That's
Yeah.
well, if they
funny.
wrap
Yeah.
it up, if they
They're
wrap
gonna
it up, that's
Yeah.
The girl,
It needs to.
the
Kristen
girl that
Bell?
plays Tahani. No,
Yeah.
not the
Oh.
one. The tall
Tahani.
yeah.
Yeah.
Indian girl. She posted something about it the other day.
All right, I don't. If they wrap it up, then fine, 3 seasons. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's a great
I mean, if
show.
you wrap up a show and that's where it ends, that's where it ends,
Yeah.
and that I'd prefer that than to have a show like Santa Clarita Diet, which I really enjoyed. It's done, and there's no ending.
right.
So it's like,
lot of
Shows
shows
like
like
Firefly.
yeah, and it stinks. Yeah,
Agent
just like
Carter.
Firefly.
Well, and all the Netflix shows.
Yeah.
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 Unfortunately.
Okay, let's see. Lucifer, which is a show that a lot of us on the show really love. It got canceled on Fox, I think, and then it went to
Netflix.
Netflix.
and they gave them their 4th season, and now everybody's upset because, well, we're going to do a 5th season, and then we're going to call it quits. They're not canceling it. They're
They're
we're
finishing
telling
it.
the story. People are flipping out. No, they gave you 2 seasons you're not supposed to get.
Yeah.
Shut up and thank Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took your show that you loved and you were upset that it got canceled in the first place, and they gave it an ending. Like I just said,
Yeah.
giving
I want
something
an
an ending is better than
As
just
long as
not
it's not a
doing
Game of
anything at
Thrones
all.
ending.
Exactly.
I would have preferred for them to cancel it.
Don't even get me started on that ending.
I won't.
Well, what happens when the writer and creator of the show goes away?
What happens when the 2 executive producers are so excited about starting Star Wars that they forget to finish the project that they're currently working on
Okay.
that got them Star Wars?
You know what? Actually, I want to
You can cut
give
that
a
out,
little
too.
bit of leeway here. I want you to think about this. Frank Sinatra is one of the best entertainer singers ever. Mm-hmm. We can say that, okay?
Yeah.
He never wrote a song of his own. He was really, really, really great at taking someone else's work, interpreting it, and making it the best you will ever hear it. That's what these guys did. And then, as soon as they ran out of the work that
George R.
when they ran out of his work, they couldn't write. They're like Sinatra. They can recreate this image
Yep.
better than anybody else. But then the second that they have to do it on their own, they're toast.
Right, because probably all they had were notes.
Yeah.
If
That's all
that.
they did have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all they did have.
Yeah, and so
Although Martin
I think part
has
of it
come
is
out and
the-
said that he helped write the final episode. It's like, not with some of the garbage that was coming out of those people's mouths. You sure didn't.
but and say I want to give them a little bit of grace because they gave us something fantastic. That
Right.
just wasn't.
That season was
They
just
thought
terrible.
it was going to be strong, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to be better at writers. They're
No.
not. They're going to take the Star
But
Wars
I-
franchise that someone else wrote and create.
That's the
cool.
thing. I do think, though, I think part of it was because they were just done.
Oh, I'm
and they were
sure.
ready to move on to Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, and that might not be all their fault. I'm sure
Right.
HBO told them how many
HBO
seasons they had.
HBO told them they could have 13 episodes this season.
But
they
how
couldn't
many
cut it short.
seasons
And
did
they
they
said...
how many seasons did they said that they would give them?
They told them for this last season, they could have as many episodes as they needed.
I think
they
it-
didn't want them.
I think
they
even
wanted,
if you
they
gave it
wanted to
more
be
episodes,
done.
the season would have just still been.
Oh, that was-
it
they were
needed 2
printing
more
money.
seasons.
But part of the
total.
problem, yeah, but also part of the problem is like Deb was saying, is they ran out of source material.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have it anymore.
Right, they ran out of source material, and Martin's saying, well, Bran is going to be king, and Daenerys is going to die.
And turn evil. Okay.
Bye.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Bye. That's different than him saying, okay, here's a whole book about
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
So, I don't know. I think they phoned it in, but I'm willing to look at it as they just didn't know what they were doing because they ran out of source material, too.
Okay.
I was just unhappy.
So, speaking of the Game of Thrones ending, another thing that people like to gripe about. This is my Dub's personal be-all, end-all of the sparkly Batman.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. He's not going to play the vampire from Twilight. He's going to play Batman. When Michael Keaton played Batman, did he bring his vacuum because he was Mr. Mom? No, he didn't. He played Batman. Stop, people. The nerd community is so frustrating to
They
me
do
right
this
now.
about everything.
Yeah, every casting
Every new
choice
character.
that's made, they
They're
have
going
a
to
stink
stop
about
giving
it.
us good things. Stop it, people. Stop.
It is frustrating, though, because I've said this a few times. Nobody hated him when he was Cedric Diggory. Nobody.
No.
You know, they weren't like, oh my gosh.
Well, Cedric Diggory is pre-Twilight, isn't it?
Yes.
So no one knew him.
Right.
No one knew
Well, no,
him.
he's done a bunch of stuff.
I'm just saying,
but not like his mainstream
he
as
didn't do
Twilight.
Twilight yet, and unfortunately, that's what he's known for.
And he
He's
hated
known-
Twilight.
Yeah. So, and that's just, it's one of those things where you just kind of get put into that place, and that's what you're known for, and that's all people can talk about.
And he's been trying ever since Twilight to
Yeah.
become something else.
And I have a lot of respect for Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
The man can direct. You
And-
know? And if he sees something in this guy, why don't we just wait it out? You know?
Until he proves otherwise, he's going to be a great Batman. I'm excited for it.
I'm going to say something incredibly controversial.
Oh no.
I don't need another Batman movie.
You what?
I don't need another Batman movie.
I
could
can
care
I get
less.
it.
Yeah, no.
I
get
can
it.
understand that
Yeah.
because
And I
mean,
love Batman. Like old
Yeah.
school. I love Michael Keaton.
I think all the
I'm
movie story right now
done
has
with-
been told.
I'm done with Batman.
Yeah.
I want him in an ensemble, and that's where I want Batman
Yep.
at this point.
let me
Give the rub to other heroes.
I've said before actually what I want. I would be fine with one more introduction of a Batman who was nothing like the Frank Miller Batman. Frank Miller, I'm done with Frank Miller.
You want
I'm
Adam
not
West?
I want Paul Dini.
Paul Dini.
I want Batman the Animated Series in a live action Batman. Or again, Frank Miller did year one, so I don't want Frank Miller's year one. But if we could do a combination
The
of
Odyssey.
a year one and Paul Dini,
Yeah.
and who was the other creator of
Neil
Tim Sale?
Adams.
Tim Sale? Tim Sale, Paul Dini?
Neil Adams, I think.
Who? Well, Neil
did a
Adams'
fantastic
look
one.
is the inspiration for animated series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that Batman.
Yeah. So this is what I've read about the Matt Reeves' Batman, and no one's heard anything or seen any kind of scripts or anything. For what I've read of what this movie's going to be, it is no origin story. We're not going to
God.
see the theater, the parents, all that stuff.
Good.
It's going to be Batman in his early to mid 20s. Still, he's already
You're
got
too
the cape. He's already got everything. It's him still trying to figure out what he's doing as Batman.
So post Gotham,
So,
basically.
yes.
Nice.
So
I'm okay with
I
that.
could- probably
and
get
from
behind
what
that.
he said, like you said, Matt Reeves is great. Just we trust him, and from what he said about the whole casting process of
Pattinson.
Pattinson, is that he came in, another actor came in. They both put on a suit from a previous Batman movie, and Patterson really fit the character of what he was looking for that movie that he wants
Okay.
to do.
Fair enough.
He's not a bad actor.
He's not a
No,
bad
the
actor.
kid is not a bad
Yeah.
actor.
No,
It's
he got
just-
stuck in a bad franchise.
He
Yeah,
got stuck in
exactly.
Twilight.
That's not his fault.
And it's same thing has happened with the girl that was in it too. The two of them.
She can't act, sorry.
She really can't. But from what I've heard about Pattinson is he's actually a very good actor.
Yeah.
I
And
haven't
if
seen
it-
much of anything because I can't speak from experience, but what I've heard.
And if Matt Reeves pairs him up with an awesome Alfred,
Yes.
you'll have a good Batman.
Right.
movie.
So
Nice. Okay, let's move on a little bit. Dark Phoenix took a big dump.
shocker.
I wanted to like it. I
I
wanted.
Did you see it?
I didn't. I
okay.
At the previews, I wanted to like it. I just
Really, you wanted to like it? I feel like that
I
whole
want to
universe.
like every. I want to like every superhero movie.
Yeah, I get
really,
it.
really do. I go in with the highest of expectations, and it's got what 22% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah.
multiple reviews I've seen and read have said that X-Men Origins is a better movie than Dark Phoenix.
Wow.
Yeah.
From what I
It's-
understand, it's
It sounds like they rushed it. They chopped it all up.
Yeah.
The last third act sequence was basically the same as Captain Marvel.
So what?
So they cut it all out and they replaced it with some train sequence, and it just sounds like it was they didn't care. They are like, we're selling this property to Marvel.
Yeah, it's done.
Just rush
Don't
it
wanna
out
care.
so we can
They're
push out one
calculating
more
go
thing.
away.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
So,
part of the problem is Sony doesn't know what to do with the Phoenix.
that's Fox.
Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they really screwed up her character, and
Mm-hmm.
when Femke Jensen was playing her, so it doesn't really surprise me that it's still strong. They just don't know how to handle the
Mm-hmm.
character.
You know, we might have to do a psychology of Jean Grey one of these days.
What a
Maybe
good
we'll get to that.
idea!
Huh. Maybe something's in the works. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
George R. Martin is collaborating on a video game with, what's that, From Software called Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Well, you know what? He's good at collaborating. It's just you don't want to play to the end of the game, I'm sure, but you know, if you play for the first 3/4 of it, you'll love it.
It's because the rest of it isn't written yet.
And it won't be written until after he dies. Let's see, a rumor going around: the original cast of Jurassic Park will return for Jurassic World 3. Does anyone really care?
I didn't even know they were doing a third
The last
one.
one was not good. The
I
last
liked-
Jurassic World movie
I
was
liked Chris
Chris Pratt.
Star-Lord.
Chris Pratt
Yeah.
in the last one I saw, I don't think I watched it.
Hasn't it just kind of become Fast and the Furious with dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah.
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 It's
Blue,
just
come here, Blue.
I don't even remember much of that second one.
see, and that's the problem. Is it's almost like X-Men Apocalypse. You could watch it 3-4 times, you don't remember it,
Right, like, I
because
don't
it's
remember.
not. It just is so. It's so formulaic, and it's just
What's
not.
the point?
Yeah.
Plus,
it's just
quite
not
honestly,
good.
I mean, even by Jurassic Park 3, which brought back Sam Neill,
Yeah.
it's like the magic was done.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there
The
was
first movie was brilliant.
Oh, there
then
was
what's the
nothing
point?
like
They
that
didn't need
first
the rest
movie.
of them.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't. You're
I
right.
stopped watching, honestly.
Courtney
Yeah.
is exactly right. They didn't need the rest of them. One was enough.
I just remember watching the second Jurassic World on a plane, and then
With
I got
snakes. No, that's our different movie.
yeah, and then I got off the plane, and I got in the car because my mom picked me up at the airport, and she goes, "What'd you watch on the plane?" I said, "Well, I watched this one," and I said, "I watched another one, but I don't remember what movie I watched."
Wow.
And it honestly took me until we got where we were going, a couple hours later, to remember. Oh yeah, it was that new Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
Like
How many-
that's how forgettable it was.
How many movies where scientists mess with the genetics of dinosaurs and make some killer thing, and then like never learn from their mistakes?
I don't know
Can
how many
you-
Godzilla movies are there.
Well, Godzilla's different.
Yeah. and
They're not making
Oh,
a new
don't defend
Godzilla.
it.
No, they're not making a new Godzilla every movie.
No,
That's
it's
the
same
problem with the
Godzilla.
Jurassic Park franchise is it's the same movie every
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
They mess with the genetics. Something
Graphics are a
happens
little
at the
better.
park.
Something
and-
goes wrong.
Yeah, something goes wrong. The park breaks down, and then
Chaos
the dinosaurs
theory.
get out.
Yeah.
Right, like the first one, the park gets shut down because the dinosaurs go crazy. So let's rebuild the park in the next series.
And make a dinosaur that's genetically
Well,
wrong, and it breaks out, and the park goes
I
crazy.
think it was the first of the Jurassic World that you actually do a flyover and you see the Jeeps from the first Jurassic Park
Yeah.
movie. I'm like, okay, that's a little on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that you guys won't shut up about, so Disneyland has something or the other going on. What's going on?
Galaxy's Edge. This is where we need a YouTube channel. 'cause
Just
I'm so
more
excited.
Star Wars stuff.
Just more Star Wars stuff.
I'm so excited.
$1 billion worth of Star Wars
I'm still
stuff.
mad that they changed the Star Tours movie from the Death Star run to the new one.
Oh, that new one it's. If you're a fan of Star Wars, it's not good because they go to Naboo,
Stop
but then Darth
complaining. You
Vader's
get Star
there.
Wars
Nobody
stuff.
wants
It's
to
just
go to Naboo.
canonically it makes no
I
sense.
know, but no, Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's
Yeah.
Edge.
Okay, talk about what's
I'm
going
just
on in
really,
Galaxy's
I'm
Edge.
just really excited. It's like the first new land in a really long time, and
Right.
that
Yeah.
also makes me nerd out.
I was in Disneyland in January, and I could see the mountains.
I know it's
You
so
know?
cool.
So that was pretty awesome, and I can't wait to go next May.
From what I understand, the theme is
I have
the
the thing
whole
is
thing
though
is a theme.
the thing is though I have 3 children, so I need to decide which one I have to sell to be able
Just sell a
to
kitty.
Go
go
in
to
there.
Galaxy's Edge
Just
and
sell a
do
kitty.
anything.
Yeah.
So kidding. For the adults, you'll like it. It's the only land in Disneyland where you can get liquor.
Yep.
Ooh,
Right, right.
I want
Yeah,
to drink on the
alcohol.
Millennium Falcon.
Right, like you get to drive the Millennium Falcon.
And you get to go to the cantina.
It's like every
Do you get to shoot first?
I don't know about that. I guess the whole theme is they have Rey has escaped to Batu, which is the name of the land, and the First Order is there searching for her. So the interactiveness of it is that
They're going to be heavy duty actors. doing
there's
things
First
like,
Order stormtroopers are
I don't know
everywhere.
why Kosh didn't.
They
audition.
have a Rey that wanders around, and like if they catch her, they spend their time trying to catch her. And I mean, and
lots of interaction with the people.
yeah,
really-
everyone that works there, they're not just your Disney, typical Disneyland cast member like you would go into on Main Street USA. They all have a character, and they have to stay completely in their character, and they have to do certain things like when a First Order stormtrooper shows up, or Kylo Ren shows up, or Rey shows up. There is a story and a script that they follow.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's a supposedly, I haven't been there yet, but supposedly it is a interactive, immersive land of Batu.
How long do you think they keep that immersion going? Do you think it's
2 years.
something that? Yeah, I was gonna say because
The specialists will be gone.
you
about 2
used to
years.
have in the California Adventure when the Toy Story characters would walk around. If you yelled out Andy, they would drop.
They had to change that.
They got in trouble.
They got hurt.
Did they?
They got hurt.
Yeah.
A Woody got attacked by some teenagers
Really?
because he was laying on the ground, and so they came over.
So I'm
beat
just
him up.
I'm just curious
tried to beat him
how long they'll keep that immersion.
They'll probably
going.
keep a level of it.
Yeah.
Because when I was there last time, out in front of the Guardians of the Galaxy, they did a Guardians of the Galaxy show with the actors.
That ride is so much
But
fun.
they weren't like there all the time, like I imagine at the beginning when they changed it from the Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
They were probably there all the time. So I imagine there'll be a level. So long as it's there in a year, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
It's a land unto itself.
Yeah, I know,
it's
the land will always
it's
be
like,
there.
It's like Toontown. There's like a specific entrance like Toontown has.
But man, if you're a compulsive shopper,
You're in trouble.
wow,
Yeah,
you
you're
are
in
in
trouble.
trouble. You're going to go
You're in
into
trouble.
debt.
Okay, final bit of news. Everybody knows that's listened to this show for more than 3 episodes that we love the 90s X-Men. Probably one of the best cartoons ever made.
Yeah.
Now that Fox has gotten rid of X-Men, it looks like Disney's taking over, and there is talk of them restarting from that point the 90s X-Men cartoon again. We don't know if Cal's in it. We don't know anybody. We know a couple of the actors are gone, and so I don't know what's going to happen. But I do hope they bring back Cal for
Wolverine, man.
Oh, yes, I'm so looking forward to this. I hope it happens.
Oh, sure. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cal was not available. Well, he was available for comment, but Cal. I'll leave that one alone. So that's a show.
Yeah.
That was all the news that is news. And next time you hear the news, you'll see our ugly mugs. Well, some ugly mugs, some not so ugly. Check out the website, www.iheartgeekshow.com. Use Conway paid extra for it. You can find all our shows there. Go to the Twitter, go to the at iHeartGeekShow, go to the Facebook, talk to us. We will talk back to you. And until next time, I'm Dub.
I'm Blyze.
I'm Siege.
I'm Ugly Mug, PB and Jason.
Keep
on geeking on.
Ugly Mug.
You've been listening to iHeartGeek. Our Twitter account is at iHeartGeekShow. Hope you enjoyed the show.